another elementary lesson. We are starting off with a new series this week called Help. We are going to learn this month all about how God can help us and how we can help others. Let's start this week off with worshiping God with a song.
I prayed to the Lord and He answered. He freed me from all my fears. I prayed to the Lord and He answered. He freed me from all my fears. I will trust His word. Hey, we're not scared, we're set free from our fears. Hey, we're not scared, we're set free from our fears. I prayed to the Lord and He answered. He freed me from all my fears. I prayed to the Lord and He answered. He freed me from all my fears. I will trust His word. Hey, we're not scared, we're set free from our fears. Hey, we're not scared, we're set free from our fears. Hey, we're not scared, we're set free from our fears. Hey, we're not scared, we're set free from our fears. We are fearless, fearless. We are fearless, fearless.
What a great start to our lesson. I have a fun way for us to get focused so we are ready to listen this week. Get ready to see if you can watch the ball and see if you can figure out where it is at the end. You might even need a little help from the people watching with you, which works perfect with our new lesson themed help. Check it out.
Where's the ball?
All right, I hope you guys were able to find the ball. And maybe some of you needed some help with your guess. And you know what? That's okay. We all need help sometimes. So I wanted to ask you a few questions about maybe some times when you needed help. And we're going to answer in kind of a silly way. So get ready. Okay, our first question is, have you ever needed the fire department's help? And if you have, put your hand on your head. So if anyone in your house has needed the fire department's help, put your hand on your head. Okay. And now the next one is, have you ever needed a doctor's help? I bet a lot of you have. And so if that has happened to you, then you would raise your right arm. So everybody at home, raise your right arm if you've ever needed a doctor's help. Okay, here's another one. Put up your index or pointer finger and put it on your nose if you've ever needed a police officer's help. Has that ever happened to you? If you needed a police officer's help, put your finger on your nose. Okay, now here's the last one. Raise both arms if you have ever needed God's help. And I bet all of us will have both of our arms raised. So raise both arms if you ever need God's help. One time we ended up needing to call 911 for our house, and you'd never believe the police officer showed up, fire department showed up, paramedics showed up. So we've done all of those. We did it all in one time. So us at our house, we're going to be raising our hand, putting our arm up, touching our nose. So we did it all. So that's just a good way to get us thinking that we all sometimes need help. We've all needed help from someone or something, and that's okay. There are many people around that can help us all the time. But what's more exciting is that we have a God who is always ready to help us. And all this month, that's what we're going to be learning about, that God wants to help us. And the best part is we don't have to pick up a phone to call or text. God is ready to help us, and He is always there to help you and me. So let's check out our lesson video this week and see what Carl has to teach us and what our big idea is.
Hey there, little chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl. Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Well, hey there, everyone. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Today I'm feeling pretty down. A lack of motivation. I don't feel like doing anything. It's the worst. I guess we'll do some crafts or something, like make a paper airplane. So, let's get to it. All right. Ta-da! The perfect airplane. Who am I kidding? It's horrible. Looks like I'm getting a call. Hello?
Carl, what's going on, my man?
Not great, TJ.
Oh no, man, what's wrong?
I don't know. I'm just dragging. Feeling really unmotivated. Like an elephant sitting on my head, and then a boulder bouncing on the elephant's head, making it impossible for me to move.
Wow, man, that sounds pretty rough, Carl.
Tell me about it. I haven't felt this bad since my peanut butter and jelly sandwich fell into the sand at the beach.
Well, I'm sorry, Carl. Is it safe to say you're feeling pretty helpless?
TJ, if I could use 3 words to describe how I'm feeling right now, it would be these: helpless, defeated, distraught. Sadness, melancholy, impotent, weak, and vulnerable. Also gassy.
You know, Carl, there's a story that I think will lift your spirits.
Well, TJ, unless you have a box of jelly-filled donuts, I don't think anything can make me feel better.
Well, let's see. You've heard of Moses, right?
Of course.
Well, when Moses was a baby, Pharaoh, the leader of Egypt, realized that there were too many Israelites. So he came up with a horrible plan.
No.
Yeah, he decided that every Israelite boy will be thrown into the river.
That's awful.
It was, man. Moses' mother got to a place where she couldn't hide him anymore. So she got a basket, made it to where it wouldn't sink, and she put Moses in the basket and put it in a river.
So baby Moses was safe?
For now. But Moses' sister watched him float for a bit just to see what would happen.
And what happened?
Well, a princess of Egypt came to the river to take a bath and saw the baby. She asked for a servant to get the baby, and when she did, Moses' sister came out to ask the princess if she would need help raising the baby.
Well, what did the princess say?
She said yes. So she gave the baby back to the sister to give to the mother in order to take care of the baby. And get this, she even paid the mother to take care of him.
What? That's crazy. She saved Moses' life.
Yes, she did. But someone else helped baby Moses even more.
Well, who?
God.
God?
Moses was supposed to be thrown into the river, but God had a plan for Moses. And God knew that Moses, being a baby, was pretty helpless floating down the river.
Well, he sure was. And God helped him by sending others, pulling him out by the river and making sure he was taken care of.
You're absolutely right, Carl. And today you woke up feeling tired and pretty defeated, right?
Like a turtle on its back.
Exactly. But just like God helped Moses, God will help you. God helps us when we're helpless.
DJ, you're the best. Not only did you help me get out of this funk I was in, you just said our big idea. Big idea time! Today's big idea is God helps us when we're helpless.
So on the count of 3, we'll say it out loud together. You ready, Carl?
Ready? 1,
2,
3. God helps us when we're helpless. Yes, yes, yes. Good job, everyone.
So, Carl, how are you feeling now?
You know what? I'm feeling a lot better.
That's great, man. Hey, what you got there?
Oh, it's my PB&J I was telling you about earlier.
Wait, is that the one with the sand in it?
The one with the what? Oh, I forgot.
All right, man. Kids, have a good week. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
All this month, we're going to follow Moses through the book of Exodus and how God helped him throughout his life at many different times. And even as a baby, God had a plan for him, and God helped baby Moses and his mother and his sister. God helped them when they were feeling helpless. God helps us too. God helps us when we're helpless. And we learned in our video from Carl that that's our big idea this week. God helps us when we're helpless. So let's take some time and do some discussion questions as a family with the people watching the video with you. So take a few minutes and pause the video and discuss these 3 questions. When are some times when you might feel helpless? And then when you feel helpless, who is the first person you usually want to talk to? And then finally, what are some ways God helps us when we feel helpless? So pause the video, take some time to discuss those questions, and then come on back. I hope you guys had some great discussion as a family. And now let's do a quick activity together. You can print out our activity page either off the newsletter or off the website, or you can pick it up on Sunday in your Calvary Kids activity packet. And we here have a paper basket template that you can kind of make a basket, kind of like the one that baby Moses would have been in. And it shows you right here on the page where you can fold the paper on the solid lines and cut the dotted lines. And then you use tape to hold it all together to turn it into a basket. And then on the basket, I want you to write our big idea for this week, which is God helps us when we are helpless. And then with some of those scrap pieces of paper, what you just cut out, I want you to write things on them. So let's think about something that might make you feel helpless, and you would write that on that piece of paper. So maybe it's a schoolwork or learning a new skill, or when you disagree with someone, write those down on your pieces of paper and put them in your basket. Because when Miriam placed Moses in the basket, she probably felt a lot like each of you. She felt helpless, but she trusted God and was able to find hope again. So put all those pieces of paper in your basket, and you might feel helpless in these situations, but God is always ready to help. So one more time, what's our big idea for this week? God helps us when we are helpless. So I want to wrap up this week with our memory verse. We're learning a new memory verse every month, which is great. We get to practice it each week. And by the end of the month, you're going to know it without even batting an eye. So our verse this week is Psalm 121:2, which is my help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. So we're going to practice this all month long. I'm going to put a coloring sheet again in your activity packet or in the newsletter that you can print off. And I want you to color it and put it up this week. And so maybe put it in the kitchen somewhere where you walk by a lot. And you can look at it every week and get started on memorizing it as you just walk by in the kitchen and you see it. So print off that memory verse, color it, and stick it up. And then before you know it, we're going to know that all together. So again, Psalm 121:2, my help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. So that brings us to the end of our lesson. Thanks so much for doing it this week with me. And I hope you have a great week and can't wait to talk to you next week. Bye.